Okay, this is the continuation of discussion of Miss Cindy. So my topic is all about blended learning and distance learning. So let's start. President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, he said that schools will open on August 24. But there is still no face-to-face sessions until not unless we get a vaccine. Instead, we will follow a blended learning approach. What does it mean? So it means that no have a face-to-face interaction sa darating na pasukan. The student and the teacher use a blended learning, the help of digital devices and communication technology. And now, the question is, what is blended learning? So the DepEd has released the different learning delivery modalities under the Learning Continuity Plan for school year 2020 to 2021. And we have 5 learning modalities. The first one, we have blended learning, distance learning, homeschooling, apprenticeship or apprenticeship for senior high school, face-to-face learning. So, we back to a blended learning. So, blended learning, it's defined the combination of online and traditional face-to-face learning. Para kanino nga ba ang blended learning? Physically, ito po ay para sa mag-aaral or he or she want to study. But, we have a limitation. Like now, all of us, we encounter the pandemic. And we all know that it is dangerous to our health. If we can back a normal educational setup, we need to follow the social distancing because it's not easy to do, especially the public school. Sa dami-dami na bilang mag-aaral in every classroom. At ipinanukala of DepEd, it has a limited 15 to 20 student ratio per classroom. So, dito na po papasok si blended learning na kung saan kailangan limitahan ang papasok ng estudyante sa paaralan or hindi papasok sa paaralan araw-araw ang mga estudyante so that he or she follow the social distancing. What or how use a blended learning? Gaya na sinabi ko earlier, it is a combination, modular, online, and traditional classes. So there are many parents have a panic. It's because the perception of parents, he or she focuses for online platform. So which is are of the choices. So it's clearly to us. Let's check the component of blended learning one by one. So first is modular online. So what we call that printed modules, self-learning kit, non-printed materials or ebook or learning management system. And also the LMS, education video conference. The printed modules, the teacher will be provide the books. The books it has, or the book, we have a lectures, activities, or the quizzes that need to answer the student. And the student will answer at home. So, the parent should guide their student. It's either the guardian or the older sister, which is knowledgeable. But don't worry, because anytime to reach up your teacher through calls, text, or through social media. And also, it has what we call that non-printed modules or ebook or electronic books. Pwedeng online, pwede ring offline. So, the teacher will provide or to access smartphone, tablet, computer, and also the laptop. Next is Learning Management System or LMS. Ito ay madalas or need to online or it has a internet connection, either Wi-Fi or data. The LMS is comparable into online classroom. The teacher will be upload for lecture, the quizzes, the recitation, and so on and so forth. Like for example, the Google Classroom, the Edmodo, and there's many more. So, and also it has what we call that educational video conference rather. So, dito magkakaroon ng online through face-to-face interaction to teacher and the student through Messenger, Skype, Google Meet, and Zoom. And of course, you need to have internet connection or data. So next is what is called traditional class. Ito yung before the pandemic, which is papasok si teacher and also the student. But this time, don't worry because the government said limited lang. So, we need to follow a social distancing. Katulad po ng sinabi ko earlier, hindi po papasok araw-araw ang estudyante because it has a schedule what time or what day we're going to school. Dahil dapat 15 to 20 lang ka-estudyante ang papasok araw-araw for every classroom. So that's it. I hope you learn more about this topic about blended learning. So next, let's proceed to a distance learning. Please watch this video. So, as you can see, the video presentation that I present Distance learning. There are many excellent benefits of distance learning. For one, it proves less expensive to support. For another, distance learning is not limited geography. Like for example, you don't need to be the United States to take classes at a university located in America. Due to coronavirus, distance learning typically a type of teaching utilized by colleges and the universities. It's now being adopted by elementary and high school students as well. Entire classroom districts or the campuses are being forced to create an online-based learning opportunity and to do it effectively. So, this approach could disadvantage some students, though students with limited computer or internet access may struggle. And those who need extra help with motivation and organization may also struggle when they are removed from traditional classroom environment. So, synchronous versus asynchronous distance learning known as two main categories. So, you should understand what the difference between synchronous versus asynchronous is. So, different types of distance learning fall into one or both of these camps. So first is the synchronous. Synchronous means, and that's at the same time, it refers to a method or education delivery that happens in real time. It requires live communication online. It uses technology such as teleconferencing to achieve this. So synchronous learning proves less flexible than other forms of distance learning. So after all, students must meet with their instructor and sometimes their classmates and pre-scheduled times. So this approach limits the students' ability to learn at their own pace. It may frustrate some learners who crave the freedom of the asynchronous classroom. So next is asynchronous. As for us, asynchronous distance education. So students receive clusters of weekly deadlines. They have the freedom to work at their own speed. Asynchronous distance learning comes with more opportunity for student interaction. Student can access course content beyond the scheduled meeting or class time to interact through online conversation, quizzes, or video comments on their own schedule. So both faculty and the student benefits from the flexible of asynchronous learning as it allows them to create and consume content when it's convenient for them. And that's all. Thank you. Thank you for your listening.